Hi, hello and welcome from wherever you join me today. Yes, it's me again, Jim Black from the Three Hats Stage Media channel. Hopefully providing entertaining content media for all those world's stages. This is a pause for thought edition where I review one of my favourite movies and see what messages we can take from it and how we could use those insights in today's busy lives. Today's movie is no exception. And as you can see from the light box just to my side, it's Christopher Robin and it comes from 2018. Based on the stories of A.A. Milne and the illustrations of Ernest Shepard. The screenplay is by Tom McCarthy, Alison Schroeder and Alex Ross Perry. There's an all-star cast. You've got Ewan McGregor, who plays Christopher Robin. You've got Hayley Atwell, who plays his wife Evelyn. And their daughter Madeline is played by Bronte Carmichael. Some interesting trivia coming up about that a bit later. There's Mark Gatiss, who plays Giles Winslow. And he's the creator of Sherlock Holmes series, which is well worth watching. The supporting cast, you've got Adrian Scarborough, who's a British actor who seems to be in everything and is very good at it. And then you've got Jim Cummins, who plays the voice of Winnie the Pooh, and Brad Garrett, who does the voice of ER, just to name a few. And you may know Brad because he was the brother of Raymond in Everybody Loves Raymond. And John Dalgleish, he played Lonnie Donegan in the movie that's just been out about Judy Garland. So I ask, is it right? Do you need to find yourself again? And doing nothing, does it lead to something? Let's get into the review and find out. Another one of my favourite movies. And I worked out the other day, I have a lot. And if I stack them all on top of each other, the DVDs and the videos, it would be very high. Have you ever wanted to go somewhere and found that the best thing to do is wait for somewhere to come to you? Today's society makes us all want things here and now. We must have them. They're advertised. We see them everywhere, and it's very hard to wait. But have you worked out that waiting might be the right thing to do? Because those sort of things that we want and crave for and want to be sometimes need to be able to come to fruition, to evolve. If we rush for those things, when we get to them, they might not be what we quite wanted. But that's something you'd never know. We're all in search of a better life. A better us, and that's very difficult to find. The movie is all about Christopher Robin in a present day setting and his journey to the point that we find at the start of the movie. He's in a job, he can't go forward, he can't go back. He's got a family, they rely on him, they want him in their lives. But everything's getting too much. That is until Winnie the Pooh turns up, his old childhood friend. But there we find that Pooh also has some problems of his own. He's lost. He can't find the people around him that he needs in his life either. So let's follow Christopher's journey through the movie and see if he can make everything happen and all the paths that need to cross, once again cross and move forward. Let's take a look at the plot. Another great Disney movie. And I've got to say that because they are good. You've just got to watch them. There's never a bad one. This is set in modern day times. But when I say modern, it's the 50s. It's a few years after the Second World War, and things in Britain are at that stage where it's a new economy, it's a new world. But also there's difficulties around everywhere with people trying to find jobs and such like. Christopher Robin's got a job. He works for the luggage company, Wimslow's, and he's a part of the efficiency team. Their job is to find cuts to make things run better. The company's in crisis because it's not taking enough money. And we all know what that does. The shareholders won't be happy. So cuts have got to be made. Over a weekend, Christopher must come up with a plan and try and get it ready for Monday for a big meeting. This is a very stressful time for Christopher. He's married, he's got a daughter. They want to spend time with him. They're going away for the weekend to the cottage in the country. But Christopher can't go because he's got his work to do. It's too important. What we do now is for tomorrow. That's what he's always said. Friday evening he gets home. His neighbour's there knocking on his door. So he moves into the park, which is just outside his house, to hide from him. He sits on the bench and lo and behold, Winnie the Pooh is there. His old childhood friend from 100 Acre Wood. He thinks he's cracked. Pooh says, "No, you're not cracked. I can see a few wrinkles, but it's still the same Christopher inside. How did you get here?" He came through a magic door from the tree that's in that little bit of park there. And we all know they exist. Go into any forest and you'll see them. There's always doorways to different lands, honest. He takes him home. He stays the night. The next day there's an almighty clatter in the kitchen. Christopher runs down. Pooh's standing there with all the shelves fell down and everything on the floor. What are you doing? I was trying to get something. It's not a ladder, it's a shelf. That would explain why it's not very good for climbing, Pooh says. Anyway, they take a train journey because Christopher realises Pooh must go. He's getting in the way. They get back to the house in the country and through another magic door in a tree, I told you they exist, they go through into a 100-acre wood. And then there's a big search for Pooh's friends. But in the meantime, Christopher loses Pooh, so he's on his own. He finds Eeyore. And then he goes about finding Piglet, Rabbit, Owl, and all the other characters. He falls asleep. They wake up the next day, which has put him out because he's got to get back and do this stuff for work. So he takes his briefcase and off he goes, back to the city. We find out at that point that his papers in his briefcase have been switched by Pooh and his friends. They've put some stuff in there like leaves and branches and twigs and acorns to try and make Christopher remember the past, which is what we all try and do. It's a memory, it's a good memory, it makes us happy. But now the dilemma is they must get the stuff back to Christopher. So they must go to London. How are they going to do that? Madeline decides that she can help and they all take the train back to London. They know he works at Wimslow's luggage, so that's easy. We've just got to get back to there. The expedition by Pooh and his friends and Madeline back to London is quite eventful. They all lose each other. Something going on there. Everybody seems to be losing each other and nobody finding each other. All I want to say about this part of the movie is it's heading towards the climax. Will Christopher deliver the efficiency that Wimslow's need? Will Madeline forgive him as a father for not being there at the weekends? Will his wife, Evelyn, forgive him for not being the father and the husband that he should be? All I can say is I don't like spoilers, but it is a good ending. And as I always say, the end is always the new beginning. If you look at your lives and waiting for things, remember the reasons why you're waiting, because all good things come to them who wait. Try and look at those around you. What are they waiting for? Can you help them with it? You might be able to. Is the old you always inside you? It is really, because it's not moved. You've just changed and forgotten things, like Christopher did. What we need to remember is moving forward is good, but reminiscing in the past can also remind us what we're missing. And there's always good lessons to be learned. The trivia in this movie is good as well. Richard M. Sherman can be seen playing a piano in the beach scene in the end credits. He wrote the original songs. Did you know that all the characters that Christopher works with at Wimslow's, if you listen to their names, you will see that they all relate to everybody that was in the original Winnie the Pooh movies way back when. A nice homage to them. And my final bit of trivia is that Tristan Sturrock and Katie Carmichael, who played the parents of Christopher Robin in the movie, are the parents of Bronte Carmichael, who is the daughter of Christopher Robin in the movie. That's a good bit of trivia, that. The music is great. It's all Disney stuff, all written by the Sherman Brothers, and you can always sing along to a good Disney track. So take a look. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you want to know where my thoughts and inspirations come from, I've left some links in the bio below. Please click on them to take a closer look. If you want to join our community, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want to know when the next one comes out, hit the notification bell. And don't forget to like it as well. Comments are always welcome. I'll do my best to get back to them as and when I can. I've been Jim Black from the 3 Hat Stage Media channel for this edition of Pause for Thought. Hope to see you again soon.